Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready?
I like how these are some of the bloopers we'll be editing.
Mashugu like go better and watch behind the scenes the episode. So I think we should start. And you have your things in order. Starting over.
Take 2.
1, 2, 3, go.
Greetings and welcome to the Greatness Factor podcast, hosted by author, speaker, and property consultant Tinashe C. Mudanda. On this podcast, we'll be focusing on the ideas that can help you maximize and unlock the personal potential that is within to become the greatest version of yourself. So sit back and relax and enjoy our content as we delve into the Greatness Factor. Stay blessed.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Greatness Factor podcast. Today I have a very interesting, she's not a guest, she's actually a co-host. So I want to introduce you to Benhilda.
Tinashe.
Oh, sorry.
No. It has been over 4 months, dude. You cannot still be calling me Benhilda. Where do you get that from?
The H is silent.
What do you mean the H is silent? How is it? In the I?
And the I, it's silent.
So you're creating names in your head now.
You're
switching it. Because it's Ben and then Hilda. So if you remove the H and the I, what about the N? It's also silent.
New rules. The H is silent. So guys, I want to introduce you to Benhilda. So she's gonna be co-host. You're gonna be seeing a lot of her. Benhilda, tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay guys, there is so much to talk about myself, but I will just tell you the basics. I'm Benhilda, I'm 24 years old. My birthday is on the 9th of June. Just putting it out there, Tinashe. Ladies and gentlemen. I
put it on the calendar.
Yes, put it on the calendar. So that we would remember. I have a brother and a sister. I've got my mom and dad. They stay in Mutare. I am Wasu, as the people from Harare like to say it. I love art. I am a philanthropist. I am a great singer. Amazing grace. And I love to dance. I would have danced, but Tinashe just thinks it's extra.
It's too extra. For the first kid, it's too extra.
I think that's Benhilda in a bit. I studied development studies and marketing in university, so I'm literally into a little bit of everything. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Glad to be here, by the way.
So yeah, I'm so excited to have you. I'm pretty sure you're gonna add a lot of flavor to the show, to the podcast. So yeah, you guys tell me what you think about Benhilda. So I said Benhilda. I didn't say Belinda.
Oh, okay.
I said Benhilda.
I'm just making sure.
Okay. Cool. So guys, please like, comment, subscribe, and share the podcast. That will really mean a lot to us because we are trying to just produce content that's that's good. So just hit the subscribe button, share, let someone know. Tell someone to tell someone to tell someone that the podcast is the Greatness Factor podcast is available on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Please let us know what you think in the comment section. So yeah, we'll go on. So what we are trying to do is when we don't have a guest, we just gonna be talking, doing commentary, sharing ideas, and commenting about what's trending, what's happening, and so forth and so forth. So what are we gonna be talking about today?
Okay guys, so we have 2 interesting topics today. One is going to be covered by Tinashe and the other one is going to be covered by me. So today I am going to be talking about just a little bit of history on feminism. Just 2 concepts. The first one by the Marxist Feminism, and the other one is what really led to the introduction of feminism and who was funding it. And it's literally just gonna blow your minds, guys.
Wow.
Trust me, it's
Can't
crazy.
wait.
Oh my God.
So you're gonna start or should I?
Nah, I'll start and then you can get into it.
Wait.
Okay guys, so let me get into my issue. So this is what I figured out when I was doing my research about the Marxist feminism. So the Marxist feminism claims that the introduction of the feminist movement was a horrible idea and it literally destroyed the balance of the capitalist movement.
Okay.
Why they were saying that is because the capitalists, being the men at the time, they were the ones going to work.
Okay.
So So the women played a very comfort place for men, and they were like, what's a nice word to say for it?
Secondary. I don't.
We can't really call it secondary, but we could call women their punching bags after a long day at work.
Okay.
That's the concept that it was coming
No,
from.
I didn't. I was.
So the feminist movement was basically it was very complementary to the capitalists because men were going to work, so women would deal with the issues at home, whether it's raising the kids, it's taking care of the household, it's farming, depending on the time. So when the feminist movement started, they wanted equal rights to vote, to get into workspaces, to make decisions, and maybe it could be in the parliament. So if that happened, obviously the nuclear family that we're so accustomed to was going to break, because the mom was going to start going to work. And then if the mom is going to work, the dad is going to work, who's going to raise the kid? The government.
Okay.
Who's going to tell the kids what to do? The government. So they're putting the kids into a system. So now the men can come home to a home-cooked meal, because you're both coming home, so you're going to end up having to say, oh, we just need to have takeout, of which in the African, I'll just put it in the African society, every black man likes to come home to a home-cooked meal.
Yeah, I've heard people say, my husband or my boyfriend is too African and suburban. That's crazy.
Right? But let's be honest, a black man likes a home-cooked meal and he wants his wife home when he comes home.
True.
He likes to see her there, whether she looks pretty or she looks like a crazy monkey who just experienced the tsunami. He just wants to come home to somebody. So that change kind of affected the capitalists because men didn't now have an outlet. So, I'm not saying that it was every man, but some found it easier that if they got frustrated at work, they just take it out on the wife.
Okay.
So now that the wife isn't home, who's he going to take it out on? He's going to take it out on the kids. That's why we kind of have a lot of kids growing up in those homes where, the father instigated a lot of violence, and some men have this understanding that for a family to be balanced or for a family to work, if I'm angry, I have to beat my kids, I have to beat my wife. They think abuse is normal. This is from
Using
the concept.
fear.
Yes.
Using fear to control the family.
Yes, that's a Marxist perspective of somebody else,
Okay.
right? So what do you think, Tinashe? Do you think it makes sense that nuclear family, did it work for them? Did you think it worked where you just come home to a wife and kids, everything's there, you're doing everything? Would you like that? And do you think a lot of men subscribe to that kind of lifestyle?
Well, I've observed an emerging trend that nowadays men aren't like what they used to be in the past. I just feel like with things changing, men are becoming more feminine.
Oh my God.
They're becoming masculine. I just think that a man's responsibility is to take care of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Of course, things might differ. Maybe the woman might have a better paying job, but still, you have to. I think you become a man if you take lead. If you take lead, of course, there are some women that will say, no, I don't need a man, but that's natural. A man and a woman must stay together. A man and a woman. I was actually listening to this session by Dr. Mabonga.
Okay.
He's a Pan-Africanist. He was saying, of course, he was talking about how the how Americans are pushing the agenda of LGBT, but we're not going to talk about LGBT.
Nope.
But what he said, he used an example that that probably is going to help me drive my point home. He says, if you put gay people on an island,
yes,
and then you put a man and a woman on an island. Let's say you take two gay people, or you take two women or two men, and you put them on an island. Then you take a man and a woman and you put them on an island. And if you take if you go after 5 years, you find out probably they'll be dead. Or after 20 years they'll be dead, like the man and the woman. But if you go to the LGBT island, you won't find anyone. But if you go to the island where there's a man and a woman, you'll find out there'll be a lot of people.
Yes.
Because that's natural.
Reproduction.
Men and women should, we work well together. Coming back to our point of feminism, men and women, we work well together. I feel like we play different parts well. It's not to say that men are better than women or women are better than men, but we complement each other.
Completely.
We make the sides of the same coin. So I just feel like it works when we have that arrangement. Well, of course, if the woman is not working, then she should be a housewife. And the man should just take care of. Yeah,
hopefully.
And the man should just take care of his family. But authority and you open groceries.
Yes.
You know, you're taking care of the bills. But you know, things are changing, times are changing. I just feel like men are becoming more emasculated. And women, I think that they can make it on their own. But you need, you know, as much as we need women also need us.
Yes, we do. I love the song by Beyonce. All my ladies independent. Well, I subscribe to the opposite. I'm like codependent, y'all. Like all my ladies codependent on their man. Like that's so me. I'm okay being the one at home. I enjoy cleaning. I enjoy cooking. I'm not a chef, but then knowing that my husband is gonna come home to me and he's out there working hard so that he can provide for us. Personally, I'm gonna be like, thank you, Jesus. You made the system, it works. I can't be out here working hard every day like a man. I do not subscribe to that life. But anywho, for my ladies who love doing that, please continue.
But like you know, I just think also that I lost my
your line of thought.
Yeah.
I'll take it from here since he's still thinking. When you find it, you just remind us. Okay, so the other perspective, this is the really coolest thing ever. So most of us thinks that the feminist movement was by women, for women, through women.
Okay.
So here's the crazy thing. In America, apparently, the feminist movement was funded by the Rockefeller Foundation. There's a man.
Okay.
Yes. So this foundation, what it did was, it wanted more tax, and it couldn't tax women. It could only tax men. Because what happened in America was, if you're voting, whatever decision or whatever anything that comes of that decision that you've supported or added your vote to, like for instance, if it taxes, the man would get taxed.
Okay.
If there was a war, men would go to war, right? So these guys found a strategy that if women start voting, we could also tax women. So their intention was to make more money, and by making more money, there was also another intention behind it, where someone is suggesting that the plan was to break the nuclear family. So in the household, we knew that the mom and dad had their own roles. The mom raises the kids, the dad goes out and does everything, right?
Yeah.
So now if the women were voting and going to work and all that, the kids are now alone at home. So now they're going to school at such a young age. 2 years old, you see kids are now going to school at 2 years old, they're preschool and all that. So what's happening now is that normal nuclear family was going to break, because now the kids are going to be put into a system, the government now tells them what to do, and they're going to keep working in that system. Do you know how much feminism has grown right now? And how many nuclear families are breaking? Back then, we used to know that in our society as Africans, I used to know that mwana asi mwana we wamai bangu na babo.
Takes a village to raise a child.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Angari
two houses down.
And your mom would be like, yes, we take our one name, Papa. You know, that was the context that we had about, you know, about raising children. Now, if you try to correct me, I'm gonna be like, child abuse, or you hear the parent of that child telling you, I subscribe to that.
Wow.
You get it. So the introduction of feminism and the Rockefeller funding it had those two intentions. Number one, it was to tax women as well, so that they would get more money, and also they had the intention to break the nuclear family so that they could continue installing that mindset at a very young age.
Oh, young.
Yes.
Wow.
At the end of the day, let's be honest, whatever you learn as a child, it sticks.
Like the Bible says, teach a child that he must go so that he will not depart from it. Yeah.
Me and Tinashe, we can assure you that we know what it's like when you're told, when you're given the African eye.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah. And you know about it, and then
It's
your
like-
just looks you like this, and you're like,
You know
going
it's
down.
going down.
I'm gonna get a beating. Never got to do it. Never hit zero.
It's like you keep telling those people, because it is not looking good for me.
It's crazy.
So that's what we grew up around, and we know there are certain limits and things that we do. There are certain roads that we don't cross. There are certain lines we don't cross with our parents. You know, ukafara.
Yeah,
know your place, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like with the introduction of feminism, it has broken that. Children are doing the most, and they hide behind it's my right. You don't own me. I have my own parents and all that. And the minute they start working or start making it in life, they even forget to take care of their own parents. I honestly don't understand what has happened to society. I'm not denying the feminist movement's intention was correct. Yes, it's okay for us to vote.
Yeah.
It is okay for us to go to work. If I want to go to work, yes. But we forgot that a man and a woman, they are natural gender roles that made us complement each other and made society work. And honestly, I wish we can retain that without closing off or ignoring the whole inclusion of women in power and all that. Because honestly, I genuinely believe that it worked. So that's what I researched about. It was crazy finding out that the Rockefeller family did. And their intention was to make money and break the nuclear family so they could continue.
To make money, like it's a money-making machine.
Exactly.
Like there's more value to the broken parts of a family than... That's crazy.
It is insane.
Alright, so yeah, I remember. I wanted to say, Kuti, in terms of feminism, what I understand about feminism is that there were waves. Yeah, there were waves, like first wave, second waves, third wave. These indicated periods in the development of what we now call feminism. I think now we're in the fourth or fifth wave, I'm not so sure. So like the initial wave was for women to get voting rights, like you were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, like women couldn't vote, women couldn't have a say in social issues. So the first wave of feminism was to correct that. And women actually got their voting rights.
Yes.
So yeah, so I just feel like now the feminism that we are experiencing, even as a young man in Africa, in Zimbabwe, is this women become masculine instead of feminine. I don't know. You tell me, guys. I don't know, but there's something that's so mesmerizing about a woman who can express her femininity.
Of course.
Like a woman who can be vulnerable, a woman who can say, I need you as a man. And as a man, you feel like, yeah,
I am the man.
I'm the man. So I just feel like the modern day feminism is just making women masculine. By saying, no, we don't need a man, I don't need a man, I can take care of my bills, I can do this, I can do that. Yes, you can do that, that's not a problem. But there's something that you will be lacking by the absence of a man in a woman. Same as a man, you lack, there's something that you lack by the absence of a woman. And I think that, we should really appreciate our differences to actually get better outcomes. That's what I think.
Plus, naturally, in every movement or revolution that's ever happened, there is the first stage which has the correct intentions, but there's always change of agenda with time. And if you notice, now we are in the radical time. The radical feminists have this context of I don't need a man, I can do it on my own, I want equal rights. Let's differentiate equal and equity. They want to, they're saying what a man can do, a woman can do. And so much technology is supporting that. Men are giving birth. I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, technology is making that happen. Women can now lift abnormal weights. Some women. This is technology. You drink a couple of pills and you bulk up and you look like a man. We can't even recognize you as a woman if you stand next to me because we're like This is a very masculine body. And this is, there are so many times that where I'm looking, I'm like, that's a woman? And people are like, don't say that. I'm like, no, I'm trying to understand because.
What's going on? What I'm seeing.
Why is a man pregnant?
That's just crazy.
Why is a woman converting herself to be a man? It's insane. I'm not gonna get into that as well, but what I am noticing is the more radical this issue keeps going, the more families, the nuclear families breaking, the more gender roles are being ignored and fought against. Now in households, instead of us complementing each other, it's as though we are at war. I'm trying to prove to you that what you can do, I can do. And you're trying to consistently prove to me that I'm not the enemy.
Yeah.
I want to be with you. I want to connect with you. We are a team. But I'm like, nope. And it's like, if you look at some of the reasons behind some of the breakups or some of the divorces, you would find such absurd things. It is insane. It doesn't even make sense. Someone will tell you that he didn't accept who I am. What do you mean he didn't accept who you are? Or she didn't understand.
An independent, strong woman.
No. The feminist movement was to give us equity. We're supposed to have equal rights when it comes to voting. Yes. We're supposed to have equal rights in the office space. Yes. If a man is earning $5,000 for being a PA, I should also get $5,000 for being a PA. But now it's complete. It's going the other way. And I'm honestly, I'm not okay with that. But anywho, some people are, and it's totally fine. We are allowed to have
opinions.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, guys, just let us know what you think about this feminism thing and the global context, the regional context, and the context within our country as Zimbabwe. We just have to have these discussions and see where we are going as a society. Because one thing you highlighted that's very important is like we are losing values, like our true African values, like respecting elders, a lot of
Ubuntu,
we
plain Ubuntu, cheo, it's a god.
And we are losing that to foreign ideologies, foreign theories and philosophies, which is crazy. I think we just have to come back to, of course, we can use, foreign technology like the camera.
Of course, we appreciate you. We appreciate.
But I think we should also push forward our values as African people.
Yes.
Which is very important. So, do you have any?
Nah, I'm good.
No, that was very interesting. You guys just let us know about this topic. Alright, so that was really interesting. So we're gonna go to the next idea or the next topic. So I think on Monday or Tuesday I was watching this documentary over YouTube.
Okay, we should officially call you Doc Tinashe.
Yeah.
The way you watch documentaries, bro.
No, I just feel like you learn a lot from documentaries. I think everyone should watch documentaries.
Yeah, it's great. That's why we're gonna call you Doc.
No, I accept.
Yes, Doc. Okay.
So yeah. So this I was watching this documentary on YouTube about a woman called Melissa Cudlitch.
Okay.
From Australia. So this woman apparently was a con woman.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And she had managed to con people over $30 million.
Jeez.
Yeah. Not RTGS, US dollars.
What you trying to say about RTGS?
I'm just putting things into context so people know how bad this was.
Okay.
So the story actually is in courts right now. It's trending. It's in courts right now, and victims are trying to recover their money. It's
hectic.
It's hectic.
It's sad.
And sadly, the woman is dead. The con woman. She died.
May your soul rest in peace, you fraudulent person.
So she even managed to dupe her relatives.
Really?
Yeah, it was hectic. It was crazy.
Oh gosh.
So that got me thinking about some of the fraudulent schemes that happen in Zimbabwe. So as we have learned from COVID-19 that what happens around actually can happen in Zimbabwe.
That's true.
So I got into a deep dive to try and understand these schemes that are used by these con people to take away people's money. So I discovered that there are actually two schemes.
Okay.
But we will focus on the second one.
Okay.
Because that's what's mostly prevalent in Africa and in Zimbabwe.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the first one is a Ponzi scheme.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a fraudulent scheme that involves paying existing investors in a non-existent enterprise with the funds collected from new investors.
And the new investor.
Yeah. So this is according to Investopedia. So it's actually, you get an investor to invest in something that doesn't exist. You convince them, they give you the money.
Yes.
You use the money. Then you find other investors. When you get new investors, you take their money and give those investors. So it's a never-ending cycle.
It's an intelligent cycle, but it's very, very harsh and inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Go on.
So the scheme was named Ponzi after a man called Charles Ponzi of Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States.
Okay.
It is said that in the 1920s, Ponzi launched a scheme that guaranteed investors a 50% return on investment in postal coupons.
Unrealistic business ethic. But
Yeah, like 50%. If you put 1 million, you gotta get 500,000. That's crazy.
It's insane.
In my stamps.
Stamps! Wait, he did this on stamp.
It's crazy.
You know what? Let's continue.
So the scheme later dissolved when he was unable to pay later investors. So he couldn't keep up, basically. So the second scheme that we're gonna talk about more is the pyramid scheme. This is the most common in Zimbabwe and in Africa. So this is a fraudulent business model in which new members are recruited with promises of payment tied to their ability to enroll future members in the scheme.
Oh, that one happened in Mutare.
Yeah.
But they actually hosted conferences to try and teach people and tell them. Now that I think about it, it was so psychological because they literally were saying nothing. They were saying nothing and just asking people for $150 or $200 based on the level you want to start on. You know that thing of
my tiers system, like they have silver, they have bronze, silver, gold, platinum.
So I told them my diamond, I told them I'm 600. It's now that I think about it deeply, it is stupid. And I thank God for my parents because when I told them about it, they were like, don't get into this. Maria, we've seen it.
Wow.
Yeah.
My one. Alright, so as the membership pool expands, it becomes impossible to recruit.
Makes sense.
So you run out of people to recruit. You recruit your nearby family, they recruit people they know. You end up running out of people to recruit.
Yeah.
So that's when the pyramid collapses. So the scheme is called pyramid because basically funds are funneled from the bottom to the top in the shape of a pyramid. So the more people recruited, the wider the pyramid becomes. Yeah. So but at the top of the pyramid there'll be one person.
There'll be us. There'll be me spending all that day. All these other people are just trickling down and it's just me.
They're taking other people's money.
I will be chubbing it for sure.
So usually a pyramid scheme often appears as a legitimate multi-level marketing business.
Okay, it makes sense.
So they are called MLMs. So a good example of an MLM, I'm not to say it's a pyramid scheme, but it's a good example of a multi-level marketing business model. Avon. Yeah, so Avon is a good example of don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Avon is a pyramid scheme.
You're not saying
Avon is not a pyramid scheme.
Avon is good business. I do it.
Yes.
They give you physical products to sell.
Yes.
Let's not paint the picture wrong.
Yes, I'm just saying Avon is a good example of a multi-level marketing business model, which is legitimate. So yeah. So in 2021, at least 10,000 Zimbabweans lost a total of $30 million. This is according to police spokesman Ponya. So it's crazy. Like at least 10,000 people.
That's just the minimum. That means there were more.
There were more people.
We could have clocked $1 billion worth of
defrauded.
Oh gosh.
So popular examples of pyramid schemes in Zimbabwe are Triple M, which is to date the biggest pyramid scheme according to the RBZ.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the that's like the
Agree.
creme de la creme of fraudulent schemes, the triple M.
I bet it's conned so many people that they actually got recognition from RBZ.
Yeah,
that's how bad it happened.
That's how bad it was. So I actually discovered that pyramid schemes in Zimbabwe date back to the 90s. So I'm just gonna mention,
okay,
the more popular ones. So there was the Bulawayo Triple M pyramid scheme in the 90s. There was the Seke High School Teachers Pyramid Scheme in 1996.
Our teachers have money.
They have money.
They're investors.
They want to also invest and make money. There's the Gozing Pawn Brokers run by George Zingani in 2013. There's the Bevan Capital Pyramid Scheme in Harare 2020. This one I actually met.
That's so recent.
Yeah, I actually met a woman who testified that they made a lot of money. They would go with security detail to cash out. And she actually said she was more focused on recruiting more people because that's how she made money. They'll buy houses, buy cars, and buy a lot of things. But when the pyramid scheme broke down, they actually had to sell the cars, the houses, because they couldn't afford the lifestyle. There's something about working for money that just that's beautiful.
Yes.
Like it teaches you discipline. It teaches you to respect money. It teaches you to have character. You become humble. If it's money that you've worked for. So it teaches you money habits.
Well, that's very true. Organic Dhladhla was talking about it.
Yeah.
This other day when I was listening about how you need to have the right mindset to manage money. Financial literacy is very important. There are so many stories about people who won the lottery, but went from $15 million winner back to zero.
Wow.
And you try to understand, how do you blow $15 million in a month when somebody else is making that same amount
in a month?
In a month. So in my head, I actually did realize that what I was saying was so true, that if you have a poor mentality, if you think that it's all about hand to mouth, like if that's where your mind is, whenever you get any amount of money, you will go back to your default setting, which is not having.
Wow.
You are used to working, you struggling for money. Now it's there that you can invest it and do things with it. You don't do anything with it. You do the same thing that you did because that's a habit, it's a lifestyle, it's a system, it's a mindset. So I remember we talked about this show. What's it called? About people who lose millions.
Oh, I blew it.
Thank you.
That's a good show. You should watch that show. It's on YouTube. You should watch that show. I blew it.
It's insane.
It's insane. Shamaru Munanuana, they become a millionaire overnight. And they give a detail of how they lost the money. It's crazy. You should watch it.
So I think you're very right. When it comes to these schemes, they're dealing with psychology.
Yeah.
You're poor, you want instant money, and you will do anything. You are desperate and you're greedy. So these four things, they will ensure that they understand that what they're having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
So by the time they even sell the idea to you, they already have your money. Because your mind has already literally placed it in their hands. You've shown them that I'm greedy, I'm desperate, I'm poor, and I don't understand how money works.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, what you're actually saying shows the importance of having good financial habits.
Yes.
And on the show, we are going to talk about these financial habits.
Yeah.
We are going to have a business coach on the podcast. Coach Tatinda Chirigo is a businessman, is an investor. We're going to also talk about these things. We're also going to invite Mr. Hilary Mushamiri.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Billions is the CEO of Wanamari FinTech, so he's also an investor. So we're also going to have these discussions around money habits. You don't need to miss this episode.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss this episode. I think you can say it properly. Tell someone to tell.
Tell someone to tell someone to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a mom to tell a dad to watch the show.
I like how she says it. So So share the news. We're gonna be talking about all these habits, not only financial habits. We are gonna, invite a lot of people that can help us become better people. So here I'm just gonna outline the signs of a pyramid scheme because it's so important for you to identify.
Yeah.
Before you take the plunge.
I'm about to get duped.
Yeah, you need to be aware because there are people out there to get you money. Yeah, so the first one is emphasis on recruitment. Yeah, they push you to recruit. You need to recruit. They are so aggressive when they come to recruitment.
We call it aggressive marketing sometimes.
The second one, there's no genuine product or service being sold.
Madaka. Zvamunofanoziva ndezvekuti imi nyika mari yenyu inodzoka ende zvatikuita zviri
but hapana, there's no
aiyewe mita munongofanoziva chingoti pai mari chete,
which is crazy because a product or a service must solve the problem.
Yes.
So if there's no product that you can identify that's solving the problem,
yes,
then you could be potentially dealing with a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other one is the promise of high returns in a short period of time.
Popcorn lifestyle.
Yeah, you just blow up. There is no such thing as overnight success. There is no such thing as overnight success. You gradually build success. You gradually build finances.
Even the overnight sensations, Justin Bieber's. Let's not lie, guys.
Yeah.
The kid blew up, yes.
Yeah.
But then he had been posting so many videos on YouTube prior.
True.
He built that brand.
True.
And then one day he was discovered.
And there's also a ton of fees to be paid upfront and ongoing. Like you were saying in the beginning, the minimum was 150.
Or 600 can order it a diamond.
Yeah, so there are absurd fees that you have to be paid
to
join. So it's one thing you should look out for. Then the investment scheme is vague. Like there are no details of how they actually
This
is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Those type of things you should really look out for because so like there's no details of how they make money, how conversation goes. So you people should really look out for these things. Guys, because Marino was a shanda. Zimbabweans, Africans, we work hard.
That's true.
So you don't need someone to take your money without giving you value.
Yes.
So watch out for these pyramid schemes, guys. Munonyura. So and unfortunately, in Zimbabwe, our laws are not that. They are lax. For example, when the Arabs had discovered Triple M had defrauded people money, they couldn't put them to book.
Damn.
Because they were not registered under any Zimbabwean regulator.
Okay.
All institutes in Zimbabwe financial institutes are supposed to be registered under the Banking Act of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So you need to check that out. Also, when you are looking out for investment, make sure you do your due diligence. Usati wango pamunhu mari yako, guys. Unonyura. Usabuditse mari yako zvekumhanya. Yeah. So I thought you had a story.
I'm gonna tell you my story. I got duped in Harare.
What happened?
When it comes to Harare. So I come to Harare, I get in town, I just got my final paycheck, right? I go, I'm walking in town, these guys approach me, Sister Chichi wants to give you a job, Chichi. I'm happy, Yeah. We go, they start working with me, and they're like, put your money and your phone into an app. Now that I think about it. That was straight up greed and stupidity at its highest. These guys prey on people who are poor, desperate, greedy, and just plain stupid. I walk with them, they go with me. So what they did is, I don't know when they did it, but they gave me the same envelope with the same weight as my phone and that $100 bill inside.
Yeah.
We get to this point and they're like, "Imimi chidzika ya afu munopuwa sure." You know what? I come out and The next thing, these guys outside were done the system of our woman. I'm a child of God. The audacity to put the name of the father in the situation. I opened the envelope. There was a rock and some newspapers. Guys, I honestly wouldn't lie. I was hurt. But I genuinely understood what Tinashe was saying, that they genuinely prey on your psychology. If you're desperate, if you're poor, if you're greedy, and if you don't understand how money works, these people will genuinely take your money. So please share your stories about John comes to Harare. If you're in London, John comes to London. If you're in USA, welcome back to New York. Share with us your stories so that we laugh together. We've all been duped at some point.
Yeah, I haven't been duped, but I just know everyone knows someone who has been duped through those means.
Yeah.
So then usually I pay attention to what they're saying, because I have this thing, if it can happen to them, then definitely
it can just happen to me.
So you have to learn from other people's stories.
Yeah. Guys, we had a great time. And we're gonna bring in so many teachers, coaches to educate us on different topics, and definitely on financial literacy or financial habits, like you were saying. So just tune in. So please comment, like, subscribe, tell a person to tell a person to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a mom to tell a dad to watch the show.
I like how you say it.
The Greatness Factor podcast is awesome, guys, and we love to interact with you. So please join us next time, and it's been great. Bye.
Bye.